Hey everyone, so we're back with the last in our three-part series on sticky situations. In case you haven't been following the series or this is like your first time tuning in to anything that we've been doing here at the Conflict Resolution Center, you can go back to the first video, which I mean you should do anyways, and listen to us talk a little bit about the CRC, the work that we do, and why we're here talking about these sticky situations. If you have been tuning in, you know that the most exciting part of this series, at least for me, is that each episode we are bringing in a different G2G team member, and I'm extra excited about this one because we have our behind-the-scenes producer, Amika, joining us. So, in case you don't know who I am, I'm Margot. I am a PhD candidate in the Department of English, and I'm part of the Mark S. Bonham Center for Sexual Diversity Studies. And Amika.
Hello everyone, my name is Amika and I'm a master's student at the School of Public Health and I'm also a G2G advisor. I'm really excited to be joining today to be talking about a situation that focuses on something that pertains to a lot of professional master's students like myself.
Yeah, so this one is we didn't even give it a title. Maybe you can tell us what you think the title should be. So we'll be right back with you to do a little role-playing.
Lisa is in the Masters of Social Work program and she is interviewing for her summer placement with her number one pick, a national advocacy group for youth mental health.
I think you're going to be just a great fit here. But before we finish our interview, do you have any questions for us?
Well, the project description was a little vague, so I was wondering if you could give me any more information about the project and what you'll be expecting of me.
Oh, don't worry about that. We haven't got it all pinned down yet. The nature of the work is very ongoing. It'll depend on how many students we take and how much funding we receive, but I'm sure we'll get it all sorted out before your first day.
Okay, yeah, great, absolutely, no problem. I'm really looking forward to working with you, and I trust that, I'll have a great experience no matter what you have me do.
8 weeks later.
It's just so frustrating. Everyone else here looks so busy all the time, but my work only ever takes me half the day. And I'm only doing data entry. If I knew I was going to be doing data entry, I would have turned down the position and gone somewhere else. This feels like a total waste of my time. Every time I try to bring it up with my supervisor, he tells me I'm on track and I'm meeting their expectations and that he really appreciates the work that I've been doing. But what about my expectations? What about me? I just don't know what to do. There's only 1 month left of my placement and I feel like I haven't learned anything and I'm not even getting paid. I finally have a meeting with him this afternoon. Hopefully something will change.
At the meeting.
How are things going with you, Lisa?
Well, I've been having some concerns about the work that I've been doing.
Oh, there's nothing to concern yourself with. We're so grateful for all the work you've been doing.
Oh, well, do you think that I've been making a big enough contribution to the project? I mean, it kind of feels like all I've been doing is data entry.
Like I said, Lisa, I'm really impressed with all the work you've been doing. I really can't believe that your placement is almost over.
Well, yeah, thank you. But I was kind of hoping I could be an even bigger contributor, even more useful to the project. So if there's anything that you think that I could do, maybe just let me know.
Oh, yes, Lisa, will do. Excuse me. Hello. Jim.
So in that situation, we can really see that there's a lot of tension building up from a variety of time points during the practicum and placement. And really what it comes down to is there's this lack of understanding on both parties of what are the students' learning objectives and what is the organization's capacity and understanding of those objectives, and also how can they facilitate them?
Yeah, I think that, again, in like all of these relationships, whether it's with like a supervisor, writing your dissertation, or a supervisor in a practicum experience, we tend to go in as like students with this like feeling like, we shouldn't assert what we're hoping to get out of the situation as well. And so I think from, I think back on like that interview process as that really great moment for Lisa to, even without necessarily getting more information on what the project was about, for her to say, hey, I like through reading about like your organization's mandate online, I'm realizing that really aligns with some of my core learning objectives, which are, to get more experience in project management, for example, or to, be doing more work like in advocacy. So really not being afraid to sort of highlight that from the beginning. And to sort of have like a contractual moment of like, do you feel like that's like, those are skill sets that I can, put into practice here?
Yeah, and I think that a lot of practicum students are in this position where they're trying to be as accommodating as possible, that they're, kind of disposable, or, that the only way that they can be a help is if they do exactly what they're told. And that's not true at all. Whereas as master's students, we're taught to be critical, we're taught to be fast learners, and really excellent tools that can be used by many different organizations, and that you should be confident in those skills and what you can bring to the table. And to not be afraid to say those things right out. That even if the project isn't totally fleshed out, that you can include your learning objectives into that conversation if a project is still being formed. That you can be involved in potentially involved in that planning stage.
And I want to jump in, Sam, because you used a word there that I think is like really important. You said, like Lisa's like very accommodating. And if you were watching our last video, you'll know that accommodation is one of the 5 conflict resolution styles that we talk about, and sometimes it's great to be accommodating, and sometimes you need to be accommodating because there's a power imbalance, or because, maybe you're the one who's in the position of power and you can make certain accommodations. But here, Lisa's a little too accommodating.
And one of the reasons why is maybe Lisa doesn't even know what she's hoping to get out of that placement. And so that kind of brings me to one of the key takeaways of this scenario is that when you're applying for practicums or placements, really reflect upon what are you looking to get from these experiences. There's a reason why practical experience is incorporated into programs, and really think about what are the skills and experiences you are really hoping to seek from these organizations or placements that you'll be situated within, and use that and leverage that within your interviews. And if that doesn't happen in your interviews, there's other time points, as you see in Lisa's scenario, to raise that up, but the earlier the better.
Definitely. There were a few time points that Lisa could have been assertive with ideas of what she wanted to learn, and including between the interview stage and first starting the job, during this meeting that she's had with her supervisor. There are opportunities for Lisa to be assertive with her own learning objectives. Given that there's only now a short period of time with the rest of her practicum, Lisa's at a bit of a crossroads right now. Do you really push for a new project to start that might extend beyond the end of your practicum time? Or do you just, keep accommodating, avoid what could be an escalated conflict, and keep doing the great work that the organization was doing, or that Lisa was doing for the organization? Her supervisor said she did an excellent job, that he was really pleased with all the work that she was doing. And if that's the kind of experience that he's having, then it might be one viable strategy moving forward to just finish the practicum, get that experience, and leave with a really good reference.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it kind of sucks because once you reach a certain point, there's not much you can do to kind of really make a dramatic change. And so, one thing that I want to stress as we get ready to sign off is to just remember that the interview process, you are interviewing them too. This is not just about them. This is a mutual relationship. And if you walk into that meeting feeling that power, maybe you need to do a power pose. Go back to our last video, not in this series, but one of our lives, to see what that looks like. Do that power pose so that you can walk in and really feel like, yes, like I am a valuable asset. I have things to offer, and I really want to highlight that. So we hope that you've enjoyed this 3-part series. We've had so much fun shooting it. Thank you, Amika. And we'll be back for a live sometime in April, so stay tuned. And let us know what you thought about the series. Are there other situations you want us to act out and talk about?
Thanks so much.
Bye.
Bye.